So we're back with another tutorial about our clock, and currently, if you remember correctly from the last one, we hit start and it opens up and it runs our current time. It now shows that it's 10:06 and it shows that seconds, and currently we have a new requirement that has been asked by our manager. Our manager wants to be able to change this clock so that it can see different time zones. So simply, if we want Mountain Time or Pacific Time, or currently we're in Eastern Time because where I live. Alright, so we need to be able to choose any time zone in the world. Alright, to do that, so first off, we want to go ahead and we want to go ahead and add a combo box here. So I'm going to go ahead and add a grid.row definitions. Alright, and I'm going to have a row definition. Height is going to be auto. Oops. And this one will be star. Okay, so we want this to be grid.row1. Alright, so we also need a place for our labels, so we're going to have a grid.column definition. And column definitions, we want width to be auto, and this to be star. Okay, so we want this to be grid.column 0, grid.column span 1 or 2. Alright, so now we should run it and it should look identical to what we had. Alright, it does. So perfect. Alright, let's close that out. Now let's go ahead and add a label here. This label is going to have a content of time zone. Alright, and this is going to be in grid.column 0, grid.row 0. And let's add a style up here. We want it to be a label, and we want to just copy this. Alright, so alright, sorry about that. That was a game that I had going. I apologize for that, guys. Alright, so now what we need to do we need to see how this is at the top. We actually want it in the middle with the other one. So let's in our grid, let's say vertical alignment equals center. Now you'll see that's in the center. Alright, what we now need to do is go ahead and add a combo box here. And we're going to have it in grid.column 1, grid.row 0. Alright, so it doesn't complain. We want to add an item source. And this is going to be binding to, we're going to call it time zones. Alright, so, alright, let's open up our shell view model. And we're going to go ahead and do this. We're going to have an observable collection. Time zone info is what it is. And we're just going to call it time zones. Alright, and we're going to make header. In this we're going to say time zones equal new observable collection. Alright, perfect. And then here we can just add time zone dot get time zones. Alright, let's go ahead and I actually had to look this part up. So we want display member path to equal display name. Okay, let's go ahead and check that and make sure it works. Well, here, and you actually see that we do have all of our time zones here, which is perfect. Alright, so now what we need to do, we need to go ahead and add this to, we need to be able to get that time zone, so let's do a selected item, and the selected item is going to be bind to selected time zone. Alright, so now we need a time zone info. Alright, and this is going to be selected time zone. Alright. Perfect. So that should now, what we want to do, we want to set this to our current time zone. So to do that, we actually need to go ahead and do it here. We're going to go ahead and say time zone local. Perfect. Oops. Go ahead and run it, and that should just automatically default to now Eastern, which is what I'm on. It does, but the problem here is we don't see all of everything we need. So let's make the screen a little bit bigger. We're going to do 400. Yeah, that's better. Alright, so now what we want is when we change this, the time to actually update. Alright, perfect. So to do that, let's go ahead and add a command here. It's going to be a delegate command. It's going to be called update time zone command. Alright, we're just going to go ahead and say update time zone command equals new update equals new, and then we're going to say update time zone. And well, we have a clock here that actually does not have an update time zone method. We want to try to follow our principles, our solid principles, so we're not going to add a method to this. We're actually going to create a new class. And we're going to call it time zone clock. Okay. We're going to inherit from clock. Okay. And we're going to have a public void that says update time zone. We're going to pass in a time zone info. New time zone is what we'll call it. And we're simply going to go ahead and say current time equals time zone info dot convert time. we're going to go ahead and say our time is daytime now. And then now we just pass in our new time zone. Alright, so now we want to go ahead and change this to TimeZoneClock. Alright, and now we just want to go ahead and say clock.update time zone, and we say our selected time zone. Now that should work. Let's find out. We have an error. Oh, okay, that's because we need to change that. Alright, so currently you see that it's Eastern time. We're going to change it to Mountain time. If we can find it, here it is. Uh-oh, it didn't update. So, we got to figure out why. First off, let's see if we're hitting our command here. Or not. Alright, so that means we probably didn't add the command to here. Let's go ahead and say XMLNS I, and this is equal to interactivity. I'll let you look at that because that is something you will use a lot. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and have an I, a colon, and we're going to type interaction dot triggers. Now we're going to go say I event trigger, event name is going to be selection change. Alright, we're going to have invoke command action. Command is going to be binding to update time zone command. Alright, now we think that'll work. Go ahead and change it to Mountain time again. We hit our breakpoint, let's run it, and it changed the time. So let's stop our breakpoint and let's pull this up, change back to Eastern time, and you see it does it instantly. Perfect. Now let's find Pacific time. Perfect. Alright guys, so that's our tutorial today. I hope you liked it. Please leave comments or ask questions or whatever you need to do. Thanks guys.